If I had to choose between fashion and doing something else, I would choose death. I think that fashion fuels me. It motivates me. It keeps me alive. And if I can't do fashion and I can't entertain and I can't bring happiness to people's lives through the art of production, I would choose death. My name is Blake Martin. I am from the south suburbs of Chicago, Illinois, born and raised. I grew up in an amazing single parent household. It was just me and my mother, Bonnie and Clyde, Batman and Robin. My stepfather at the time was not a very good person, and he brought a lot of anger to my otherwise peaceful household. And so at 12 years old, lied on my job application and got a job. And at 12, I started to live on my own 100%. My biggest fear is probably dying alone. My mother was my world. She was just the one person I never expected to die. I'm scared that no one will ever love me like she did. Being a member of the gay community is interesting. I feel like I am a part of this war. It's frustrating. It's overwhelming. I'm just not the relationship type. I am addicted to my career. And anyone that I am involved with would have to understand that you won't be second, but you will be in a tie with my career. You either understand it or you don't. I am moody and bipolar at times. When I am good, I am good. And when I am bad, I am a monster. In every facet of my life, I feel misunderstood. I think that I have a great heart and good intentions. Loyalty is a big thing with me. And so once I feel something or someone is disloyal, it's pretty hard to reel me back in. You know, my entire career, people have called me mean, jerk, an asshole. And so I'm gonna give it to them, that it's probably true. So I started my career thinking, in order to be successful in this business, that's the man you gotta be. And about 4 or 5 years ago, I did a casting call and not one individual showed up. And I had to step back and say, what was the problem? And I realized, you're not a nice person. At the end of the day, I'm a nice individual. I'm humble, I'm a joy to be around. Working with me is like being in a family, but I am a business. And you're gonna treat it as such. If I have an event, a casting call, a photo shoot, if call time is 8 o'clock, don't walk in my door past 7:55. You will not treat my business any less than perfection. You just won't. My 3 life quotes. One would be, if you have to cry, go outside. I work in fashion and there is no emotion in this business, unfortunately. We are here to work. We are here to service a client, produce a product, and make money. This is business. If you have to cry, go outside. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. A second one would be, get over it. It's life. And I think the last one would be, it gets better. Tomorrow's a new day. It's gonna get better. Get over it. I started off in the fashion industry as an intern in the fashion department for Baby Phat Fashions with Kimora Lee. And one of the rules of the department or the company was never call Kimora by her first name. She was always Mrs. Simmons. And this particular day, I got her coffee and I handed it to her and I said, here you go, Kimora. And shortly thereafter, a man came to me and said, this is gonna be your last day here as an intern. I love working for her. But she was a bitch and I got fired. It is what it is. Being in a relationship with a high-profile rapper, a rapper with a wife, was a challenge for me. At the time, because I was young, I thought dating one of the biggest rappers in the world was fun. I was able to get into the best clubs, and I was wearing the best clothes, and anything I wanted, he got it. I didn't care about him having a wife, I'll be honest. After a while, I realized that I was the secret love affair. I was never able to walk a red carpet. I was never able to go to an award ceremony. I was never able to be a part of the crew. No one ever knew about us. We always met in hotels or at his house very late at night. So the appeal of dating, again, one of the biggest rappers of that time, kind of fell short after a while. And I kind of told him, look, either it's me or your wife. And obviously he chose his wife and his career because coming out would be career suicide. But he wasn't stupid. It was an interesting time of my life that I don't necessarily know I would ever want to relive again. Dealing with celebrities and having dual lifestyles or secret lifestyles is something that is very, very common. Being a celebrity, especially in the music industry, and being bisexual or gay is uncommon. So you live two different lives to save face to have a career. About 40% of this industry who have girlfriends or are married also have secret lifestyles or secret lives with men. Listen, being gay is common, and if 1 out of every 4 men in the world is gay, and it's 200 entertainers in the world, you got a big pool of them out there that like men that just don't want to admit it. But that ain't none of my business. My childhood and coming out was extremely difficult. The first person I came out to was my mother. Like most African American mothers, she was not too happy about it. I remember coming home one day, she took a pair of my underwear and wrote fag on it and put it on the front lawn where me and my friends were coming home. Eventually, my mother came around to understand that I was gay, and there was nothing that she could really do about it. So, to amazing testament of who she was, she turned around, did a complete 180. My son is gay, it's fine. Overnight, she switched. I went on to go to high school and wanted to be a male cheerleader. And being the first male cheerleader in my school's 103-year history was very, very difficult. They would see me on the court cheering amongst the girls, and I remember getting water bottles thrown at me, hot dogs thrown at me, getting booed as I go onto the crowd. And it was very, very difficult growing up gay and not understanding what any of it meant. It just felt like, why don't these people like me? What is it about me that they hate? So she went to a local community organization called Aunt Martha's, and they had a gay and lesbian teen support group. And she enrolled me in this group, and we would meet every Monday and Wednesday to get together and share experiences and get motivated. And the organization leader was a man, a gay man. And I was so excited to have him in my life because that was the first time I met another openly gay male. And he just felt like the big brother that I never had. And I was glued to his hip. Every day after school, study sessions, counseling sessions, it was me and him. This particular day, my mother dropped me off at our counseling session. Can you ask him if he can bring you home? Study session ended and he said, I'm gonna take you home, but I have to stop at my house to switch cars. Is that okay? Of course it's okay, you're my mentor. We got to his house and the other car wasn't there. And he said, my roommate has the other car, come on in, he should be home in about 10 minutes. I'll switch the car and then we'll take you home. And next thing I know, he's kissing me. Prior to this, I had never had an encounter with another male before. He took off my clothes. He pretty much told me, everything I've done for you, this is how you pay me back. And so that night he did rape me. Right after, he got dressed and we got in his car. And I remember asking him, what about your roommate in the other car? And his response was, "What other car?" Luckily, he was convicted to 7 to 10 years in prison, and that was the end of it. 20 years later, it still affects my sexual relationships. And so I remember trying to commit suicide, and my mother saying, "Why do you want to die?" "I just don't want to live anymore." And somewhere in the back of my head, I thought if I commit suicide, there's a start over. And so I was in the hospital a total of probably about 6 months over my teenage years, from attempting suicide about 9 or 10 times. The disease of suicide is something that never leaves you. You just learn how to check it and to live the healthiest life that you can. Moving forward, my ultimate goal is to produce and bring high energy, high quality entertainment to the world, to entertain the masses with fashion, to break fashion from its boring monotony, and to build a brand, to support myself and my family for the rest of my life, and to make my mother proudest woman in heaven. And I just wish I knew back then how amazing life would be today, because it sure is fucking epic, and I'm grateful.
Hey yo, it's your girl Maya, and I want to give a shout out and a big up to Blake Martin Productions. Keep it up.
It was serious. It was actually one of the most organized fashion shows I've ever been to that wasn't put on by a major corporation. So shout out to Blake Martin for being organized, for having good fashion. Well, let me correct that. Great fashion, great thing.
Happy birthday, Mommy's baby. I miss you. I hope you have a wonderful day. I am so grateful and thankful to God for giving me such a miracle package. I love you. Come home safely. Bye, Mommy's baby.